Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Speedrun Ragnarok, where we are playing RPGs for fun and for money for Take This, a mental health charity. We have Claireic here to play some Tiny Toon adventures for us, any percent. So take it away.
Alright, so this is Tiny Toon Adventures for NES. This was a game that I absolutely loved as a child, and actually the first thing that I picked up speedrunning. So time will start as soon as we press start on the title screen. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so world map. We're going to select our character. We're picking Plucky Duck for most of this run, which you'll see why here once we get access to him. There's one observing the slide speed, because your top sliding speed is actually faster than the run speed in this game. So what we're doing essentially for pretty much all of this run is we're doing a slide and then mid-slide jumping out of it, but not pressing any directions on the D-pad so that we maintain that faster slide speed. So there's a lot of precision involved in this and knowing where to land. Hence why Plucky's the safe choice, since the hover ability does allow us to better control where we're going to land on each of our jumps. The world record route does make more use of Furball than I'm going to be using today, but Furball was always my favorite character. Okay, now coming up here, since our donation incentive was met, you'll notice that... Actually, not yet. That'll be after this level. Alright, this is the one clip that we have in the game through that wall. Honestly, that's like one of the first speedrunning tricks I learned, and I can't really describe what my fingers are doing there. I just kind of brute force learning it. But you'll notice how our carrot count is a multiple of 11. We have 33 carrots. That's not a good thing if you're trying to speedrun this game, and you'll see why here after we defeat this boss. Of course, what I like to do when the key drops is try to make some silly pose, like landing like that as I grab it, so I'm frozen in that pose as it transitions out of the level.
Definitely pro strats.
Yep. So, what's this? A Star Destroyer ship? Oh, this is our bonus incentive to fight Duck Vader. Normally, in a run, we'd want to avoid this boss fight because it costs extra time to fight, but because of the donation incentive, I'm just gonna go ahead and fight it now. But yeah, anytime you go to the world map with a multiple of 11 carrots, you have a really good chance of activating this hidden boss. And my reward for beating it is 3 1-ups.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep, thank you. Alright, we're hitting the second world. This one we're going to get into some underwater areas. Which, again, Plucky Duck is our best choice at it for this. He actually has the best swimming ability out of all the other characters. Like, trying to swim as anyone other than Plucky is pretty difficult to control in this game. Which there's a little bit of water section in 2-1. 2-2 is all underwater. So this is where Plucky Duck, even in a casual playthrough, you want to use Plucky Duck for this level. And actually, the game does have suggested secondary characters that you take for each world. We're mostly going to be ignoring those. This world is coincidentally intended for you to play as Plucky Duck. If you wait on the character selection screen, it will tell you who to pick for each world.
That's really nice of it.
Yeah, so basically each of the world kind of has like levels that are designed around each of the characters' unique abilities. So Plucky's being a semi-aquatic waterfowl gets the swimming levels, of course.
Of course. It is very Mario-esque, though.
Yeah, yeah, I get that a lot. This game is pretty similar to like Mario 3.
That's what I was thinking. And the floatability, like from Mario 2.
Yeah. Okay, this is one of my favorite speed sections of this run just because of how tricky it looks, but how neat it is and satisfying it is just to zoom through the ship area and not get hit by anything. So,
Yeah, this is really cool.
That's done. And to top off World 2, we get to fight a pirate. We're gonna try to hit the pirate towards the right side of the screen. So after every hit, he does a barrel attack. And I want to get as few bounces as possible for the barrel so that it gets off screen as soon as possible. Alright, what pose should I do this time? I think I'll do this pose.
Just diving for that key.
Alright, World 3, the suggested character is Dizzy Devil, but Dizzy Devil's too slow. We actually don't ever use him in a speed run. He can't run or slide, so he's like really at a disadvantage. Which this world's gimmick is you have some of those blocks that Dizzy's able to break through using spin attack. But again, he's a bit slow, so we're going to go with Plucky here to start.
That was impressive. Just flying across the entire level.
I'm gonna go for a tricky skip here. Let's try that again. Nope. That skip is still difficult even after the few hundred times I've attempted it. Alright, coming up here, you'll notice that each world we've had a section where we've had to avoid Elmira. So there's something unique about this one, or something, I guess you could do this on pretty much any Elmira, but if I get caught in front of the door, normally getting caught by Elmira sends you back to the world map and you have to start the world over. But if she catches you while the door comes up and it plays the victory jingle, you actually get sent back to the character select screen, but you get moved on to the next stage. So this is the one point in the run where it's useful, since we can switch our secondary character to Furball.
Yeah, Furball is my favorite.
Yeah, Furball is my favorite character in this game as a kid. Like, I almost always picked Furball. Why that's important here is there's a shortcut that only Furball can get into in this level, and it saves a really good amount of time.
Cool.
That's actually a new trick that I discovered last February when I was doing some grinding on this game. Is just actually is like a complete accident that I found it just when I was messing around. Just completely unintentional, got caught in front of a door and noticed that something weird happened. I'm like, okay, let's try to make this useful, and this is pretty much the result.
Whatever works, right? And that was a very nice boss fight.
Yes. Alright. This world is intended for a ball, but for the first stage of World 4 and the boss, Plucky is actually the safe option to go with. The world record route does use Furball here, and Furball does make a huge difference on 4-3. Now, it'd be nice if we could do the character change glitch on World 4. However, with this world's Elmira, that's not going to be possible, as you'll see coming up. So this level I like to call Bounce on the Mice. And we're pretty much just going to stay above the whole level, using these enemies to keep re-elevating us. So this Elmira, all you gotta do is go up, and then wait here for the door. So it's not possible to get caught by this Elmira where the door appears, otherwise it'd be like really nice to be able to switch to Furball here for the level we have coming up.
Yeah.
Because we've got a vertical level, which obviously Furball with this wall climbing ability is the best choice for this level. However, Furball is also a riskier character to take when running this game. He's not recommended until you're like grinding out like for like a high PB time or world record time.
Oh no.
I got this. Ah, what's a hitbox anyways?
They're just suggestions.
Yeah, this game's being very not generous with its hitbox detection tonight. Yeah. And one of the things with the hitboxes in this game is that they all seem to be shorter than what the graphics or what the enemy sprites make it look like they should be, and there have been a few times bouncing off of enemies that has caused me issues, because I'm expecting to bounce off of something, don't, and end up missing my landing because I was just a tad too high to bounce off the enemy. Alright, this boss, a lot safer to do as Plucky, because we can just hover over this pit while the little apes drop. Every 2 of them that we kill will drop a block on this boss. Other than that, this boss is pretty much the worst RNG nightmare of this run. It's random how many times he beats his chest, and where each of the little chimps falls. Makes it very dangerous to run as Furball, because like sometimes you could just get bad RNG from this and they both drop towards the front of the platform. But of course we're done with that. And our pose this time, mid-flight.
Nice. Hover strats.
Alright, I'm gonna switch to Furball here for this level. We're in Wacky Land. This first section is actually one of the trickier platforming sections. All these jumps are very specific, and if you get them off, you're going in that hole. I've definitely put a lot of time in practicing this first screen of Wacky Land. Switch to Furball. We're gonna get a football bounce there. And control RNG. Fortunately,
No.
this game is generous with its live systems. You'll notice that, like, I've been at 9 lives pretty much this whole time, because, like, pretty much every level after I get my score bonus, I am getting a 1-up on points. Now, I used to know it, but I can't remember right now off the top of my head how many points you need to get a 1-up, but it's really generous in this game. So running out of lives, and even if you do get game over, you can continue infinitely in this game, so it's pretty nice in that regard.
I could see that being great for somebody like me who's not terribly good at platforming things to try to learn.
Yeah. I don't know, this game was still hard for me as a kid. It took me like a few years for like, I don't know, like 8-year-old me to be able to beat this game.
Well, you're definitely making it look easy right now.
And now that we've gotten all the Go-Go Dodo pieces, we have our last key to Montana Max's mansion. So we're on to the final level. And very important to pick Furball for this level. This level, Furball actually makes a huge difference on a couple different sections of it. And of course this level has some just like strange trolley traps, like these spikes you have to slide under, and the guards. It's very easy to come up out of the slide too early and get hit by those. I've done that a number of times, especially when I've had a PB pace run going. Like, this level is mean and can wreck PB paces.
That in the dark thing was kind of terrifying, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that money bag screen that I just did, that's why we take Furball, so that we could just climb up the wall. But you have to get the right rhythm of tapping the A button as going up so that you don't get hit and all the money bags fire off just ahead of you. And of course, we have one more vertical screen here. And Montana Max, who, again, can be an RNG problem sometimes. Like, I was just getting bad patterns from him while I was practicing this run earlier. Fortunately, he seems to be playing fairly nice, and that's time.
GG.
So we've done it, we've saved the day, we've rescued Babs Bunny from Montana Max's mansion.
Yay!
And then we get to see like a fun little ending scene here of Montana Max being punished by Buster. And I've always wondered what that weird outline Buster has going on with him in this scene is about.
Thinking anger aura.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, this game has definitely been a good time to run. Like, I've been playing this game since, like, I don't know how young I was. Like, when I was, like, old enough to be into the show, like, back in elementary school. I remember I bugged my parents a lot to buy this game for me, and eventually they caved and got it, and yeah, it's been one I've played a lot ever since.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite shows as a kid too, so it was really cool to get to see this. 'Cause I don't think I ever came across this game.
Yep. So anyways, I would say that wraps up the run here. So thank you for having me, and I want to wish luck to the rest of the runners, and yeah, keep on supporting this great cause we're supporting here.
Yes, thank you again for the run, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon. And yeah, it's been a good time.